Hello, class. Welcome to our class. Welcome to our next day of our very fun lesson. Mr. Ray here is gonna try not to stutter and try not to blank out with his words. You might, as you sit down, you might be wondering, why do I have a picture of various cereal brands on display here? Well, I should mention that it's December. We're in the first week of December. Merry Christmas, y'all. Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, the good stuff, right? It got me wondering, I've heard that cereal is the worst thing to wake up to in the morning from various sorts of people. A couple of my friends love cereal, and other people just flat out hate it. I am a cereal hater, but that doesn't. But I rarely eat breakfast. But maybe you guys should eat breakfast too. Look. I'm just saying here. It's kind of a big thing to just have breakfast. Like, as a professional teacher, I eat breakfast. No, I don't. Every single day. That's a lie. But yes, I've heard that cereal is the worst thing to wake up to. However, I rarely beg to differ because the worst thing to wake up to is Pearl Harbor. Yeah, those reactions I could see on your faces right now. The attack on Pearl Harbor happened today, actually, December 7th. Well, welcome aboard to December 7th. You already heard the announcements that we have to just stand for a moment of silence for all the people who died in Pearl Harbor. Yeah. It is Pearl Harbor Day, actually. Now, you might be now as I rip this page off of Wikipedia, which you should never use Wikipedia as an actual source. I just thought it would be funny to blow your minds of shock. Pearl Harbor happened at 8 a.m. Hawaiian time by the Japanese during the war. Now, we will be learning not just Pearl Harbor, but the events leading up to World War II and other events afterwards. Today, we will be discussing various sorts of topics like Normandy, Hoovervilles, how we got into World War II, and before the war. Now, I want you to all open up your Chromebooks to Slack or get a Google Docs page or bust out your notebooks, whatever you prefer. I don't care. Bust open a Google Docs page, open your notebooks, and open up Slack too, because you will be DMing me some stuff. We will be learning about various sorts of topics of World War II, why it's important, and how we use these topics for future lessons. Because if you don't know, I'm planning to quiz you someday. It's not gonna be today or tomorrow or next week. Actually, I gotta figure out how to do that because you're the first class that I'm telling you this, and I should have told everyone in my morning in my middle classes. But look, man, I'm just human. What else can you want me to do? Now, open up Slack, and we're gonna do the thing, and we're gonna do a little game show. So, as you all did the reading yesterday, I need you all to tell me what happened after Pearl Harbor. You got four choices. A, we went and bombed Japan. B, President and the Emperor played golf. C, we got roped into World War II. Or D, we didn't do anything of note. Just take a few seconds just to DM me A, B, C, or D in Slack. I'll be watching you do that. It'll take just a few seconds. Yeah, you guys have been doing that, yeah. Okay. Yeah, okay. Alright, now that you answered that, yes, we got roped into World War II. I will go over this more in detail, but yes, we got into World War II because of Japan bombing Pearl Harbor. That picture you see on the screen right here is actually a US ship that got sunk because of it. It's a memorial site, you can also see it. Fun fact, the bodies have not been recovered because of it's a national site, we keep it just the same. So yes, there are dead skeletons just in the ship. Now, no morbid talk. We're gonna go on to the two sides, the Axis and the Allies. Now, if you're dyslexic like me, you will get confused on what Axis or Allies are, because the name both starts with A. So we're gonna shorten it in this class to JIG and FABS. JIG is Japan, Italy, Germany, and FABS is France, America, Britain, and the Soviet Union. Now, quick question: what is JIG? Jigsaw puzzle, Japan, Italy, Germany, Jerusalem intelligence game, or jelly and grass? Don't let the picture fool you. You should know this by now. It is December. I make one question really goofy. type, just DM me on Slack. Okay. Okay, Bradley, you did D. All right, that's negative 20 million points on your next test. Yes, it is B. Japan, Italy, and Germany. Those are the access powers. Now, next, we're going to talk about Fabs. What is Fabs? Fabulous people. Francis and Bianca skates. Fiji, Argentina, Bolivia, Slovakia. Or D, France, American, Britain, and the Soviet Union. There's only one correct answer. I beg you, please, just type the answer, and you all did it. Congratulations, it is D. Now we're gonna get into our main lesson, right? You all got warmed up. I love doing these because I don't have to talk. I don't have to call on you. I will call on certain people, but not right now. Before the war, as we know, America was in deep isolation. We were secluded ourselves from the war after World War I did its job, and we all just went about our daily lives. World War II, we really didn't want to go further because we got into a we drowned in a very deep depression. We all know the Great Depression and how it came to be. The Great Depression was caused because of various assortments, right? Businesses went down, families were crumbling, a lot of people were homeless. And this picture right here, notice how we see that there's free coffee and donuts or for the unemployed, not or the unemployed, for the unemployed. And notice how big the line is. We can tell based on the free sign that they're basically just giving away for free. Money is practically, it really is worthless in this economy right now. And how it became worthless was the stock market. The creation of credit cards was a very new hit thing. Credit was not really new, but the creation of credit cards were. Everyone was very noticeable. Everyone really loved credit cards, and we will know what credit is. Credit, I will tell this one time, is a sort of buy now, pay later scheme. Your parents have credit cards. Your grandparents have credit cards. You probably already have credit cards now. I've seen like 12-year-olds building up credit score already. It's really crazy to see how little people are building up credit as we speak. I built up credit when I was in college, but I'm seeing like people as young as 12. Yes, I graduated college in 2025, but don't talk to me about that. So, credit cards, yeah? How did this go into the stock market? Well, the stock market played a role of just everyone just getting a bunch of stocks, right? Stocks were going high as we speak, so people wanted to get more money. Stocks, if you hold stock, you basically get money. This is the most shortened terms of it, the most blatant terms. You would basically get money from your credit card. I mean, not from the stock market. Pepsi is one of the biggest ones because I saw it on YouTube, but I don't know how true that is. Anyway, the main gist of credit cards. What is it? Type it on my Slack. I will read out the questions. Buy now, pay later. Spend quickly, reap later. Save money, live better. Walmart. Or drink up, glasses down. I will wait for just a few seconds to just see your answers. Okay, you're already flooding it. You're already flooding it. Yes, it is the buy now, pay later. Eventually, you will have to pay back your credit card. There is a minimum payment and a maximum payment. I suggest if you have the money, pay the maximum because you don't have to worry about it. Now, I'm sure we're gonna copy this down. I'm sure you already did it in your Google Docs and your notebooks. But yes, credit, as stated by this image on Investopedia, a contract a contract agreement in which a borrower, your parents or yourselves, receive a sum of money on your credit card or something of value and then repays the lender your bank account. You would pay the bank at a later date, generally with interest. Some credit cards do have interest, others don't. That's basically it. Here's a real picture of the moments of the real-time of the stock market crash. And yes, the stock market is flooding gloriously as we speak. People are still flooding the investment banks of Wall Street, similar like this. But this was the moment where the stock market crashed. It went kablooey. Moments after the stock market crash, creations called Hoovervilles were created. As we can see by these sums of pictures, we notice that there are homes scattered around these empty lots, generally made of wood shabbings and just basically trash, scrap metal, timber that they found in the streets, and we can see that even children as young as toddler age, instead of selling lemonade, they would sell, as we can see here, tobacco, because tobacco at this time was still a hot commodity. It wasn't very regulated with the sin tax as we know today, but yes, children were just selling away tobacco as to just get money for their parents. Hoovervilles were named after President Hoover because President Hoover really wasn't the best when it came to the Great Depression. Uh, he really didn't do much, and a lot of people really didn't like him. In terms of running for re-election, he did not. He did not win the re-election. He had a very low chance of doing it. His whole shtick was hands off, laissez-faire. We all remember laissez-faire earlier in the semester. So because people couldn't pay up their homes, they created their own from scrap pieces that they found from the junkyard in the creation of these Hoovervilles. When we got into World War II was the moment Japan decided to bomb us at 8 in the morning. Japan thought that if they surprised us earlier in our time, we would just be scrambling for a bunch of stuff. We did fight them back. Our soldiers tried their hardest to fight them back. And they really did succeed. They really did. So another question, how many times did we declare war in World War I and World War II? And onward, how many times did we officially declare war? 3 times, 2 times, 4 times, or once? Just DM me on Slack as normal. And okay, 3, 2, 4. There's only a couple of 4s. 1. All right. It was 2 times. Yes, and they were both on Germany. Out of the many wars that we participated in onward, sorry for 1 second. Yes, we declared war on Germany twice, both times during World War I and World War II. We're gonna get onto another topic was during the war. During the war in Europe, Hitler was wanting to take over the entire country of Europe and onward. We all know that France was a part of the Allies group, as what I like to call FABs. We know that, as you can tell by the white flag, yes, France did not win the war against Germany. They surrendered because the Nazi Party was flooding them as we speak, taking them over one by one. And yeah, France was the first country to fall in terms of being a superpower. France wasn't really a superpower, but yeah, in terms of the Allies, yeah. Here's a fun thing to note. The Soviet Union was not originally a part of the Allied powers. They were part of the Axis powers. I like to show these political cartoons to just ask you, what do you really see in this? Yes, the most obvious answer is Hitler in a suit and Stalin in a tux. Very progressive. Go, Stalin. Be who you are. But yeah, the text below us says, wonder how long the honeymoon will last. Basically, Hitler and Stalin were the 2 biggest dictators in the entirety of the Eastern continent. Excuse me for 1 second. Hitler was the fascist leader of the Nazi Party in Germany. Stalin was the communist leader in Russia, otherwise known as the Soviet Union. They got together because, hey, basically it was like, I'm evil, you're evil, let's take over the world together, my baby sugar plum. Until Hitler backstabs Stalin in the back, quite literally. As we can see here, the Russo-German pact was basically a pact between Stalin and Hitler to basically not attack the other one. Hitler was a stupid baby who had very low intelligence and decided to just attack Stalin in the winter. Yes, they invade Russia in the winter for the second time. History does repeat itself. If y'all remember our Napoleon lesson that happened in October, yeah, Napoleon also attacked Russia and invaded Russia in the winter. Who decides to attack Russia in the literal winter? That's beyond me. Let's hope it doesn't happen for a third time. But 3 strikes, you're out. Let's go invade Russia in the winter. Yippee, yippee. But yes, Hitler stabs Stalin in the back, and Stalin's like, you know what? No, I'm going with America. And yes, we and the Soviet Union really hated each other at the time, but we decided to team up for the sake of just like, I hate him, you hate him, the enemy of my enemy is my friend, basically. Another other lesson that we will go over is Normandy. It was the peak of World War II, in which America and Britain were going to invade France because at this time, the Nazis invaded France. So they decided to just attack the beach of Normandy to secure one of the forts there, which we will talk about later. How they got into the seas was due to these boats. These boats were literally boxes, and as a result of it, could not be safe in the water. Many soldiers were getting seasick because of the rocking waves and stuff, and it was causing them a lot of sickness. And there was no hatch over because, yeah, I too would want to have a place to throw up in the ocean. So they invaded the beaches of Normandy, as we can see right around here, basically in the water, and they're getting pot shots. Mind you, this cliff was like probably 50 feet tall, if not more. So they were climbing up a very vertical hill and just not really getting anything far. We did want the beach. Now this fort, I can't pronounce it, but I like to call it Frankfurt. Frankfurt. It's not the right name. I will look on it later and post it on our Google Classroom. But this is the place where Hitler decides to end it all. He was losing, and he's like, I don't want to go to jail. Decides to basically pop a cap in his head. Yeah, and this is the place that he died. Don't question me if this is still around. I don't know. If we can keep Auschwitz, we can keep this too. I don't know. This is a very old picture. I couldn't find anything on Google Images. Your history teacher is a fraud Kuna or whatever. Now we're almost done. We're gonna go on to our practice. Go into your textbooks and we will go over. Go to page 78, and we will go find. You will go and find practice questions. Basically, you can work in groups or not, and we will go over just 5 of them, maybe 3 if we have time, and just take a short time to just answer these questions in a group or by yourself. You can also DM me on Slack if you have any questions. But in the meantime, we're gonna get just situated with that. So, why did Hitler betray Stalin? I will ask a couple of questions. Yeah, you. Oh, that's fantastic. Yes. Basically, he was power hungry. Basically, he was power hungry in a sense. He just he wanted more. He wanted more land. He wanted more land. Others was just he really didn't. There was no reason for any spark to betray Stalin other than Hitler was power hungry and wanted more land. He could have just like shown his own power. Like Hitler would show his power to the rest of the world, like, oh, I took down Stalin in the winter. It could have been like that, but bottom line, he's power hungry, and another thing, he wanted more land. Now, what were the Hoovervilles, and how did they get their name? Junkyard houses. I would accept that. Yeah. Sorry, I can't spell. I really can't spell. Poor living conditions. I'll also accept. Community driven of impoverished people. How did they get their name though? Yes, President Hoover was sucky. I'm not gonna really type that, but I don't care. President Hoover was sucky. I'll also put Hoover did not do a great job with the Depression. On to our final. You should all know this. What is FABs? What are FABs? Yes, the allies of World War II. Now, who's in FABs? Yes, France. France is a big one. What else is next? America. Yes. Britain. Yes. The Redcoats. And yes, the Soviet Union. For your homework, you will go finish the rest of the practice questions and basically send it to me on our Google Classroom on via Google Doc. Write out the whole question and then put in your answer in red so I will know what you're talking about. It's just helpful for me to see better. You're going to finish all the practice questions you didn't get to do and the ones we didn't go over. Finish that up, write it on a Google Doc, and just send it to me on our Google Classroom. With that, we have just 5 minutes left. You can do your homework early. I will be walking around. I will be walking around the classroom. We will talk about this. We will ask me any questions you want. With that, have fun.